over here. So, but we should remember that, dear devotees, that when anything which is revealed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, don't look at in the eyes of this material beauty, not in the don't should not look at the eyes of a material, eyes. So we should always see that if Bhagavatam, the Srila Vyasadeva is compiled Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva is none other than the Supreme Lord Krishna, or is mentioned that literally incarnation of the Supreme Lord, as mentioned that scripture. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vishnu Vyasa is the Vishnu Rup, literally incarnation. So why it is mentioned? Why it is mentioned the Kambal in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Because of it has great significance. So here the verses reveals that the beauty of Kailash. So that is Kailash is considered as is not an ordinary realm. Kailash is also, we know that the Lord Shiva has Sadashiv. There is a eternal abode. In spiritual realm is called this Kailash also there. The same manifestation of that Kailash here in this material world is called the Kailash here. Lord Shiva resides there. We know that Goloka Vrindavan is there. That the same Goloka Vrindavan expanded here in this world is called Bhuloka Vrindavan. So this is the same abode. There is no difference between the Kailash in the spiritual realm and the Kailash over here. So that's why the great acharyas, the Vyasadeva, Sukadeva Goswami is revealing that the beauty of this Kailash. And we know that Goloka. In the Brahma Samhita, Brahma is also mentioned about the beauty of Goloka. In the 64, there is a words in the Brahma Samhita, Sriya Kanda Kanda, likes that. They start with those beautiful words. It says that there are the Goloka Vrindavan, the beauty of Goloka Vrindavan is revealed that there is nothing that can surpass the beauty of Goloka Vrindavan. There are lakes, there are chirping birds, there are beautiful the mountain, the Govardhan mountain, the lakes, the Yamuna is flowing there. Everything is there. That the replica of that Goloka Vrindavan is the Bhuloka Vrindavan here, and we can see that the Vrindavan itself is so beautiful. There are Kadamba trees, the Yamuna is flowing, there are mountains, there are various trees, there are the birds and the cuckoos and the peacocks and the deers, and so many varieties. So why it is mentioned that this is so beautiful, and when the I mean, I'm actually from a village. I knew that how a morning is actually in a village where all these various birds and the chirping and their sound which comes into the horizon, and then the beautiful fragrant flowers like jamandi and gandharajan, gandharajan. It's all this jasmine and mulle and so many was around, and all the trees and the birds, and how beautiful this is. And we would, as soon as it's not like here, as soon as you get up, you open your eyes, you are like some very different place, and still it is there. So this is, then think about that. And people also, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that people are also naturally beautify everything because of this is the nature. Beauty is the nature. Naturally, beautiful. The nature is naturally beautiful. But on top of it, when it is so beautiful in such a way that the transcendental realm, so that it creates an atmosphere for transcendental loving devotional service. So this is what it is. So everything is so harmonious. There is no pain and pleasure into that situation. So when everything is in a nice transcendental, this is also another definition of a dham. So this way, the one can execute loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord in such a beautiful way. So Kailash is considered as an expansion of that Lord Sadashiv, who was in the spiritual realm and who was always there. Sadashiv. Sada means always. Shiva means all auspiciousness. So here also in the Bhulo Kailash, which is expansion of that spiritual realm, that Kailash, Lord Shiva is also none other than the expansion of the Supreme Lord. There is Guna Avataras. When the Guna Avataras, Brahma and Vishnu and Shiva, they are the Guna Avataras. So Brahma is in the predominant deity of the mode of passion, and then Vishnu is the predominant deity of mode of goodness, Sattva Guna, and then the Lord Shiva is the predominant deity of the mode of ignorance. And Lord Shiva always meditate upon the Supreme Lord, always worshipping the Supreme Lord. And that's why Shiva is known as the Vaishnavanam Yadashambhu. In the Narada Panjaratra, it is mentioned that Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of the whole universe. Why the Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of all universe? Because of he's always ready to serve Krishna, ready to serve ready to engage in the devotional service, and always engaging the devotional service. And as soon as just follow the orders of the spiritual, the Supreme Lord. So this is a quality. This is the quality of a spiritual master. Then in that, if one has that quality, then the Lord Shiva is the foremost spiritual master of this universe. So everybody tried to take become the disciples. Even Narada Dev was also a disciple of the Lord Shiva. It's not that just one person is disciple of Narada Dev is also disciple of Lord Brahma, but at the same time Narada Dev is also disciple of Lord Shiva in many ways. So this way we can see that. So because of the potency, because of the power of the devotion of the Lord Shiva, the entire atmosphere becomes so beautiful. That's another way we can see that. When a devotee, wherever lives by the devotion, by the purity of his heart, purity of his all the places he purifies. Wherever he exists, all the places he purifies, then there will be harmony. There will be so much beauty around. There will be always the vibration of the Supreme Lord. The Lord resides such places. So that's why the devotee also, overcome, surpass this material quality. So here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which reveals the beauty of Kailash is not an ordinary material mundane, this beauty, but this is the beauty of the spiritual abode. So this way we can see that. So we know that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, a beautiful section has mentioned that this is the 14 planetary system. This universe is considered as 14 planetary systems. This 14 planetary system is start with we are in the middle of Earth, right? That's what is Bhurlok, right? Bhuvaswa, right? Bhurlok, Sorgalok. So we know that there is a beautiful description of Sorgalok. Is again very beautiful, full of gardens, and this word is so it increase the longevity of the lifespan. So when it is there is everything is pure, and that's also another aspect of it. When it's pure, it increases the longevity, the lifespan of the living beings. So that's why in the heavenly realm, the people, the inhabitants there, they live 10,000 years, like that, thousands of years they live there in the heavenly realm. So like that, when you go upwards, the Sorgalok, then there is called Maharlok and Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok. This is the various planetary systems, the planes of. And Bhagavad explains that all these places are so beautiful. And there is also a Sorga called Bilva Sorga. And Bhagavad reveals that so beautiful. And if you go down even, there is a Padala Lok, there is a one planet actually, Atala, Vitala, Talatala. Mahatala, these are the various other, the people or the living entities lives there. And one of the planets mentioned, it's so beautiful. It's more than beautiful than the heavenly planets. We know that if you go to the Patala Lok, and there were the Patala Lok, it's mentioned that where the Bali Maharaj, when the Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Vamana Dev appeared, and Vamana Dev liberated Bali Maharaj and gave a place where it's called Sutala. In the Sutala is the place where the Bali Maharaj resides. It is mentioned that it's beautiful than the heaven, the Sorgalok. So why it is? Because of wherever the devotees are there, it is more beautiful. It's more beautiful, and that's the way that the devotee, the devotee's purity. The devotee purifies all the places. First of all, wherever the devotee exists or wherever devotee goes, at that entire plane will be purified. So this is the beauty. That's why it's revealing here in Srimad Bhagavatam. This way, we can understand that the place where the Lord Shiva or the pure devotee of the Lord, that every atmosphere will be so wonderful. So much will be purified like that. So that's why the Vyasadeva and Sukadeva Goswami, which reveals here the beautiful places, and it's mentioned that in that forest there were many birds whose necks were colored with the reddish and whose sweet sounds mixed with the humming of the bees. The lakes were abundantly decorated with the crying swans as well as strong stemmed lotus flowers. So all these beautiful, the living entities are there so that they are also part of in the loving devotional service. We know that Srimati Radharani has a parrot called Shuka, right? The parrot is a very dear parrot of Srimati Radharani. Also, Krishna also has a parrot, and they have a deer, very dear. because they are all engaging or enhancing that the beauty and the pleasure of Krishna. Similarly, all these various living forms, living entities, they are not ordinary. They are as close associates of Krishna. There could be, we know that from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhava was praying that, oh Lord, please make me a grass in the Vrindavan, in the dust of Vrindavan, so that I can get the lotus dust of all the, touches of the lotus feet of all the pure devotees. So even in the Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan, these various, the forms of living entities, they are not ordinary. They are also eternally liberated living entities. They are also associates of. Don't think that, the Lord is just there and then nothing else is there. That just a potency is there. No, we don't see that way. That is Advaita philosophy. But we are seeing everything so, spiritually. So everything in the spiritual realm has spiritual potency. Even a stone in the spiritual realm is known as Chindamani. Every stone in spiritual realm is Chindamani, the wish fulfilling the stones. It can fulfill all the desires. That's called Chindamani. And every vriksha is called Kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means Kalpa means it is there forever. And it is mentioned that in the Govinda Leelamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami reveals that when Krishna goes, when Radharani comes, this entire trees and all the animals, they were all making sure that they are there and chirping and making their noise and then singing songs. And the trees and the branches comes down and try to touch the Lord Krishna and the mother, Radharani. And then if Radharani, dress ups, then similarly and a color of a dress, everything changes accordingly to match with the Srimati Radharani. And there are groups of the deers, groups of animals and trees and the gopas and the gopis. Everybody decorate themselves, everybody, nicely, the garments, all the beautification, everything according to that, what Krishna and Radharani does every day. So why it is doing that? Because of it enhances the pleasure. On the other side of Krishna, if Krishna wears the dress of the yellow, so all the trees, whoever belongs to that, the group of that Krishna, everything changes accordingly. And all the deers, all these various, these animals there, they're not ordinary. They are all very close associates of Krishna. They come, and the cows, we know that this Goloka means what? The place for the cows. Go means cow. So Goloka Vrindavan, there are full of cows, and they all know that they're all just by serving Krishna because of Krishna loves cows. Krishna loves cows. That's why the Goloka, and that's why we are also. The cow is not none other than this likes Krishna and goes, or the cows are so dear to Krishna. So we worship cows. So similarly, the cows were there and they were all, some groups for Krishna and then Radharani. There are so much wonderful pastimes goes on like this. So thank you, dear devotees. This the way it is reveals that the descriptions of this Kailash. Kailash is not an ordinary mundane plane, and it is, of course, the Shiva Tattva is also different. And Shiva is eternal. He is an expansion of Sadashiva in this world. Shiva means all auspiciousness, and whoever remembers Shiva is mentioned that he also can attain all auspiciousness. And another aspect of it, why it's all auspicious? Because he is the pure devotee of the Lord. A pure devotee always brings that auspiciousness to everyone. That's we know that Srila Prabhupada came to this world and spread all the auspiciousness because of this is the only real and absolute thing in this world. So thank you so much. I'll stop here. Also, that yesterday was Shayana Ekadashi, and that Shayana Ekadashi is the day that Lord goes to the transcendental sleep, all Yoga Nidra, which is mentioned. That's why I started yesterday, Shayana Ekadashi. And then Shayana Ekadashi, now Chadurmas is also begin on the Shayana Ekadashi, the 4 months period of time. And why this Chadurmasa? Because of Lord is also in the transcendental slumber or transcendental sleep. Lord is meditating upon his devotees on this time. Lord also very personally. So I was mentioning in the today morning class that when devotees pray, when devotees chant the holy name, with devotees engage in the loving devotional service, Lord is very attentive, and Lord is there. Now the Lord is attentive to the devotee services. So this month is actually meant for so that the Lord is very attentive for that to see, to meditate upon those who are serving, engaging in the loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So this is the significance of it. Lord will be very attentive to the devotees, those who are engaged in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord. So that's where this Yoga Nidra is revealed there and mentioned there. So all these months on, and this month is the first month, and one should be free from the leafy vegetables. And the next month is considered as yoga from the free from the yogurt, and the third month is free from the milk, and the last month free from the urdu dal. So these are the austerities, and some way or other, the devotees Chaturmas is very auspicious, and one can observe this few 4 months of devotional service. That means Lord is looking at you. Lord is seeing you in the Lord's Yoga Nidra. In that Nidra, in the stance and slumber, the Yoga Nidra, that you are there in the consciousness of Krishna. That's a significance here, so we can understand. So then also, observe in such a way that, that we are also with the Lord. Lord is with us. Lord is there for us to, see that our devotion. But if we are not there, then that is our misfortune. So take this opportunity to some way or other to observe this Chaturmas and chant the holy name. The most important thing is chant the holy name. And that's why become Krishna conscious, right? Conscious of Krishna. That's the summum bonum of all the education, all the scriptures, all the essence of the Vedas. Krishna says, Vedas cha sarvamahameva vedyo, right? So Veda is himself, to the essence of Veda is to be know the Krishna. So be Krishna conscious and engage in the hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every day, chant the holy name. And this way, Lord will be remembering you, dear devotees. So this is the very important, 4 months of this time. Okay, and today the fast breaking time is 5:31 to 6:10. 10:31, 5:30 to 10:31, the fast breaking time, and everybody can follow. And we also should, there are certain aspects reveals that we also should follow the rules and regulations. This is for our benefit. And one who follows that, suppose just for an example, if you're driving the car on the road, there are some regulations that, okay, you should drive 60, 65 on 75 or 35, 25 in certain roads. For what? It's not that anybody else get that one. This is for our benefit so that we don't get into the danger. Similarly, devotional path is actually, so there are certain rules and regulations, not too much rules and regulations, but certain rules and regulations which reveals by the spiritual master and the devotees and the guru, then we should definitely follow that. That's for our benefit. So that's the significance of it. And thank you so much. And we'll stop here. And with that note, if there are any comments or questions, anybody, just quickly 1 minute or 2 minutes. Anybody has anything to add or any questions regarding this Chaturmas or anything that you want to, clarify? Okay, thank you so much. Let's stop here. Let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha. Prahaladesha, Jai Patma Mukha Patma Bhringam. Ugram Viryam Mahavishnum, Jalandam Sarvadobhukam. Narasimham Vishanam Bhadram Mrityu Namabhiham. Narasimhadev Bhagavan ki Jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Pay our obeisance to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha Kalpatarupasya, Pa Sindhu Devacha, Padidana Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Vaishnavrinda ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Ananda ki Jai, Guru Premanande. Hari Hari.
Thank you, Sumesh. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.